Hey everyone, welcome to Prologue episode number 2 of our campaign about the bad guys. Spoilers out of the bag on that. The Knights and Shining Armor. This, like I said, is Prologue episode 2. I am joined by our second player here at the table, Mr. Mason.
Ayo.
Uh,
Sorry, Ayo.
Yeah, mean bad
Bad
guys.
guy.
Mason is going to play his character. It's going to be really fun to run this prologue, introduce you all the listeners to him. I can't say for certainty I know how to pronounce his name. So, what is your character's name, Mason?
My character's name is Theriseus.
Theriseus. I like that. Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit Greek.
And a little bit.
Could give that the time of day.
And I'm a little bit rock and roll. So let's get into this.
Aren't we all?
Campaign, or this section of the campaign. My signature, I guess you could say, is I like to start every session like this. Mr. Mason, let's tell a story. So it is a lightly raining day. Very cloudy. The sun is blocked behind clouds. It has been for most of the day. It's been a dreary day as well as a dreary heart, and fitting that we actually open on the small town of Felrain. Outside the town of Felrain, you will find several intricate caves. You will find they're connected by several underground tunnels, and some of them big, some of them small, and go deep into the mountains. They are the Ridge Rock Caves, is the common, and locals know it because the caves and the mountains that spring from them all form very rigid, very sharp-edged rocks, and we go into one of these caves where we see this scene unfold. Mason, I need 2 things from you here, even at the top. I'd like you to roll me your initiative order.
Got a +2 on int.
Nice.
Got a solid 5 of the die, so of course that is 7.
Listen, I have pre-rolled initiative on this particular encounter, and that is still very high. I was like, what is happening with this dice? Awesome. And now make an attack roll with advantage because the object is restrained.
11.
An 11.
So 14. 14 with advantage.
With advantage. All right. You go to finish this dragonborn off, and it's just so pitiful. It's not that you miss, it's that you just stop and take in the moment. You see this red dragonborn lifeless in your left hand, with your right hand your sword, and you go to finish it, and you just hear screaming from across the cavern cave, a loud, blood-curdling "No!" It's a woman. You hear her scream from across the room as you set to deliver yet another final blow to another member of this party, this ragtag group of heroes that dared challenged you. They fought well, this is true, but they were no match for your power. In fact, the cause of their demise as they walked into your trap. What a trap you had sprung. What kind of trap would you have set in a cave for a party of heroic adventurers?
Oh, well, it's quite easy. As I turn around to look at her and give her a little shush, and she's like, hold your turn. You're next. I'll look up at the ceiling and see where the false walls had ripped, and actually stalactites fell through the ceiling, piercing through many of the adventuring party as they come into this cave very nonchalantly, tripping my tripwire and honestly killing themselves. It's their time anyways.
And who could have resisted walking into opportunity like that? I mean, the bait was so urgent and important. They couldn't turn around. What did you use as bait to lure them into this cavern?
Well, obviously, since it was their time, I needed what they would care about most. For lots of adventuring parties, it's money or loot. I ended up finding their families, bring them to the back of the cave. They're fine. It's not their time yet, but there's a few in this party that need to be taken care of.
Their families huddled in the corner, several of them of various ages, young dragon-born child, as you begin to put pieces together. Who could resist walking into a trap like that to save the ones that they loved? And now here they lay. Maybe there's 3, oh, no, I guess 4, well, I guess 5 of them lying around, and this one in your left hand was tough for sure. Clearly attached to the dragonborn cleric screaming out for him on the ground. She was tough too, and they all were, in their own way. That monk was certainly hard to pin down. The spellcaster, while old, was a bit squirrely too. And then that other one who went down from the stalactites right at the beginning. Yeah, where did that halfling even go? Oh yes, there, right by the door, barely moving, barely breathing, and her little pet too. What's the cleric going on about now? In your hand you hold the male dragonborn, barely alive, hardly breathing. What do you do to his body? How do you dispose of this final moment?
It's going to be fine. It's your time. You do understand that, right? That you. Oh, it's okay. And as he's kind of gurgling his own blood, I'll just take the sword and the very tip of it, this long blood red sword, I'll just gently drag it across the throat, in not a gruesome way or anything, just something that will do a quick killing blow, not purposely merciful, just something that will end it quickly.
You begin to run your blade across his throat, and you just hear this dragonborn on the ground. How can you do all of this? What evil possesses you to be this way? You have done nothing but hurt the ones we love and who loved us. You are a plague to these lands, but we won't stop. We won't ever stop. We will keep fighting because unlike you, we actually have something more important to fight for. All we ever wanted was to protect others no matter the cost. Isn't that right, Perseus? No matter the cost. The dragonborn in your hand, as it bleeds from his neck, turns and looks at the dragonborn on the ground. Taya, don't do it. She screams at him. Perseus, I need you to understand this. Say it with me. Say it to me, whatever the cost. And with what seems like his dying breath, you look down, and this dragonborn has big tears in his eyes. They begin to stream down his face. And you hear, at the low point of a whisper in this desolate, isolated cavern, he whispers, whatever the cost. And I love you. Suddenly, the woman called Taya reaches up and grabs a pendant around her neck. With tears in her eyes, she crushes it in her hands. An explosion of light starts from her neck and explodes out, consuming her. Her eyes glow bright with this holy light, and waves of warm, tidal wave energy burn out from the source. It blinds you for a moment, and as your eyes readjust to the cold cave, you look down at this dragonborn. The fresh scar you had run across his throat is gone. This tough guy who was not a moment ago weeping at your feet, his wounds seem to look better. Even the dirt and dust of battle quickly fade as he stands up. We will not yield. And that brings us in the initiative order to your turn. Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
For freeze.
You guys are not rolling with me. Perception check, that's going to be a 7.
7. All right. You can clearly see the dragonborn in front of you. You know that cleric is kind of over your shoulder as you previously described. And with a 7, that's about all you know has happened to the room since this bright light kind of gave you flashbang energy.
All right. Am I within melee range of the reformed guy?
Correct, you are.
Okay.
You are right within 5 feet of him.
I am within 5 feet of him. It is adorable that you think you can stave off death. And I will just make some attacks straight into this big guy.
Go for it.
Just gonna do. As I do, I will bring up the crimson blade and kind of drag it across the back of my hand as I kind of balance the extremely long sword onto my hand, pulling it back, invoking blood into the weapon, and I will use my crimson right and be the weapon for extra damage, and I will swing for some attacks.
Go for it.
Alrighty here. Let's get some good rolls. Ayo! That is going to be a 24 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Perfect. First hit is going to be 13, 15 points of damage on the first attack. And then I will swing for another attack at him.
Absolutely.
Oh, a natural 19 plus 7.
That will definitely hit, yeah.
Okay, cool. Ooh, 17 points of damage this time.
Ooh. Describe to me how you land both of these blows.
As I balance the sword on the back of my hand, invoke the blood right, I will simply throw it up with the back of my hand, almost bring it below my arm in a kind of twisted fashion. It looking like it is the lightest weapon ever made, except this is a massive greatsword. I will swing upwards first, cutting through his chest, and then as I do, bring the sword around and once again go for just his jugular.
Oh,
try to
sweet
finish him.
Is there anything else you would like to do for your turn?
We'll stay right here within his range. I will try to get in between. I'll circle around behind him to use him kind of as a body shield between me and the cleric.
Ooh, nice.
Just so she might have some disadvantage or harder attacks on me.
All right, that brings us to the next turn. You only kind of see it out of the corner of your eye, and honestly, before you can react, it's already too late as a smaller Arakakra monk is suddenly smooths in behind you. He's going to make a couple attack rolls behind you.
Okay.
Does a 18 hit?
An 18 will hit. Yep.
All right, so he lands a blow on you and does 8 points of damage. He's going to start pumping key points, so he comes in behind you, lands a blow, and will begin using secondary attacks. So he's got another unarmed strike coming in at you as well. That one will only be a 13 to hit.
13 will not hit.
All right. So he will take the action. He will make another 2 unarmed strikes on his bonus action with his Fury of Blows. That's a 24 to hit.
Yep.
And that is only a 15 to hit.
No.
All right. So on the one that did land, it's 7 points of damage.
Okay. And that's added to the 8 from before, correct?
Correct.
Perfect.
All right. And that brings us to the end of his turn.
Cool. At the end of his turn, I will use one of my legendary actions to turn the crimson red blade with blood flowing across it and just bring it up and drop the weight of it and just bring it down on top of him.
Oh, my
More
lord.
blunt than slash.
All right. Make your attack roll.
That is going to be 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Okay.
So he comes in, lands a couple punches. You notice him. You react with the sword, of course, and he is able to step out of the way and move along.
I'll just say, you do understand. You're not getting out of this. It is your time. The Riverman comes for all.
You hear behind you at this point a voice. Well, that may be true, but I think we shall send you there to meet him first.
Already have.
Does a 17 hit?
It does. Just barely hits.
All right. A You look behind you as a light begins to get brighter and brighter, and a orb of fire comes up from behind you and strikes you in the back, dealing 10 points of fire damage. Yes, that is correct. You've now noticed a spellcaster type of sorts hiding in the corner. He must have been revived as well.
You with your tricks and your magic.
So that will be the end of his turn. The next is the cleric. She rolls a failed death save. And then from behind you, or not behind you, now as you've turned and kind of gotten a survey of this room, you notice over the monk's shoulder there is some sort of movement, as you can kind of make out something furry and something small. What is happening over there as an arrow, perfectly placed, flies straight at you? A small halfling archer will take a shot with an arrow. The first one is going to miss narrowly past your eye as she
Perfect.
quickly loads another one. Does a 21 hit?
A 21 does hit.
All right, so she is going to aim for the head as she was always taught. So she is very good at this. So that will be 16 points of damage.
Okay.
From this arrow.
As it comes in, I will bring up my gloves that glow a gentle blue. And as the arrow comes in, I'm going to use my gloves of missile snaring to attempt to reduce that damage by 1d10 plus my dex mod.
Get that.
I'm going to reduce it by 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
Nice.
So 60 minus 7, that's 9 points of damage.
Nice. Love that for you.
Thank you.
And then
my reaction.
As that arrow is loosed over her shoulder, now flanking around the side of the monk, a large wolf growls at you and attempts to make an attack as well. 18 to hit.
Is it range? 18 will hit. Yep.
Yep, it comes into your range, doing 10 points of damage.
You're really fighting for your lives, aren't you?
And that brings us to the top of the round. Brings us to the end.
At the end of his turn, before the top of the round, I will I will use 2 of my final legendary actions and just pump some more greatsword hits into the guy I've been smacking previously.
Yep. So you go back to the Dragonborn, the big obvious target originally.
That is a 17 to hit.
Ooh, just misses.
Just misses.
He's a beefy boy.
And let's in between attacks. Oh no, this is not my turn. Okay. 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Damage is. Oh, it is actually 19 damage on the nose too.
Prophetic. or proof our entire cast is scripted. Either one.
Yeah. I am going to brand the guy I just hit.
Yes.
Brand of castigation, I think it's called.
Oh my lord.
I am going to hit him, and as I do, it is going to sear whatever the gold coin looks like here in this country into wherever I hit him.
Oh, man.
So I'll always know the direction to the branded creature as long as it's on the same plane as me. Each time the branded creature deals damage to me or another creature I can see within 5 feet of me, it also takes 4 psychic damage.
Oh, dang. So you're not doing any additional damage at this point?
Not yet. If he makes an attack and deals damage to me, I will be hurting him every time.
Gotcha. Well, as it would happen, it's his turn.
Oh, I couldn't have guessed that.
And he pulls up 2 large axes, and he's going to make some attacks.
Oh, gosh.
He's going to bonus action rage, and then he's going to make some attacks. Does 21 hit?
A 21 does hit.
Boom, baby.
My AC is 16 for reference.
Good to know. I just like to ask because it makes me feel powerful.
Yeah.
Not a great roll, though.
That's a good reason.
7 on the die.
Okay.
Second attack. Ooh, an 11 to hit will miss.
Okay,
and
so how much damage in total?
So far, just 7.
Okay.
And then an ability that allows him, he's going to make a third attack with a battle axe.
Ooh.
But it's an 8.
8 does not hit.
Dang. So he is out of
Woo.
juice on that one, and that actually brings us to your turn. And he's starting to look very similar as to when you had him by the throat at the beginning of this
Beautiful.
adventure.
Bonus action. I am going to look over at the wizard. Is he trying to help the cleric? It just like at first glance, like obviously he's trying to help her, right?
Yes, yes.
So I'm going to look at this big guy.
Also, Perseus did take 4 points of psychic damage from hitting you one time, correct?
Oh, beautiful. Yes, that is correct.
Point of order. Awesome.
You know what? I'm gonna run outside of his range towards the cleric. Is they within 30 feet of me?
He is. You
In
will
this
take
cave?
a handful of opportunity attacks, if that's all right.
A handful. Oh, because the wolf and
Because the wolf,
big
the
guy are
monk,
here.
and the big guy are
Oh,
all right next
and
to
the
you.
monk. Wow, I am surrounded. I gotta get out of this position. That's number one. I'm in a tough spot here, Portnut. Okay, here's what I'm doing. Straight up swinging. I'm gonna
Swing
take
away.
the big guy down.
Swing away.
I can take damage a little bit longer. I don't know about a whole nother turn unless I take this guy down. Hey, that's not bad. Let's go with a 17 to hit.
Ooh, that just misses. He's the beefiest
Just
one.
misses. Oh gosh. Okay, that's rough. That's fine. What can you do? Another attack.
Do it.
Okay, there we go. 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay, cool.
Roll up some damage.
Okay, not bad. 13 points of damage.
What type of
On the-
damage?
Second attack. Well, 11 of it is going to be slashing,
Okay.
and then 2 of it is radiant.
Barely breathing over here.
And as a bonus action, I'm gonna face the monk,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna look at him, and as kind of blood starts flowing down my eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and just say, "You stay there for a moment." And I'm going to do the Curse of Binding. He needs to make a DC 15 Strength saving throw.
Oh, that's not good for him. 10.
Sick. Okay, he cannot take reactions, and his speed is reduced to 0 until the end of my next turn.
Gotcha.
And so I am going to now run out of this group's range.
He cannot
So the
take an
monk
opportunity
won't take an
attack.
opportunity attack.
Nice.
Hopefully can't put a key point into a stun or something. Wolf can still attack. Big boy can still attack.
All right. What? As you're kind of surrounded, I would say, the cleric, the ranger, and the spellcaster type do have you like on a triangle.
Sure.
So there is kind of like a fourth direction to go that's away from everyone.
What's the move here? Where? I'm a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the families at?
The families are, I would say they would be in that direction, that kind of fourth direction, as this party would have tried to enter the room and begin to surround you, and that's when your trap triggered. So that's
Sure.
when they were. So they would not have been able to get far enough to the families.
Yeah. Theriseus isn't afraid of 1, death, 2, running away. He doesn't see it as cowardly or scared. He sees this as this is their time. I need to be able to do this. So I can't do it right now. Got to get an opportunity to make it easier for myself. So he's going to run towards the families.
Okay.
And he is going to find the dragonborn child.
Okay.
And he is going to kind of get over there, hold out his sword. And I've used all my actions and bonus actions. I'm just going to move as far away as I can.
Sure.
Just towards them. Kind of not using them as like human shields, but be like.
But yeah, kind of.
Is talking a
threat.
free action?
Yes, before you get that far,
Okay.
there's just a
Yes,
matter
there are some attacks.
of
There are some
opportunity
attacks. Correct.
to Dragonborn miss, wolf, big fatty miss. Okay, so you are clear of those opportunity attacks.
Okay. Let the record show podcast. I don't like being the bad guy. Counterpoint, though. I will hold out the sword towards the child
Mm-hmm.
and be like, is this what you want your future to be? Would you take away the future of your own child to stop the chance that the people who are supposed to die dying? And that I will end my turn.
The Dragonborn looks at you after missing his attack, missing his chance to keep you from moving in that direction. The monk also, you've gained his attention, but the Dragonborn, as a reaction, just kind of says, "If you touch him, I will eat you alive." And the monk says, "I won't let that happen." And he begins to close the gap quickly.
The monk?
The monk, yes. And
The monk cannot move until the end of my next turn.
That's right. So he doesn't do jack squat. Let me look at the range on. I'm going to say the only thing the spellcaster.
He'd throw some darts if he wanted to.
Spellcaster is going to form his hand into a sort of another small orb seems to appear in his hand, and he's going to launch it at you. He's got a range about 90 feet on this particular spell, so he will
Heck
make
yeah,
an attack
toss it.
roll. Only an 11
To hit?
To hit, yep.
That will not hit.
So he is old, and his aim ain't what it used to be, and it goes pretty wide left. And at this point now, he will move, use all of his
Old man,
movement.
you have to understand. Out of everyone, you've got to understand that your time is here. Correct. You do understand that, right? You missed a very easily blatant attack. I wasn't hiding behind the child even. You just missed.
Shut up! I got things to worry about. And he begins
enough.
to he runs
Ideally,
over.
me. You should probably worry.
So with his movement, the sorcerer is going to go over and stabilize the cleric.
Okay.
So she's at 0 hit points, but no longer has to make
You
death
hate
saves.
to do this again. No, just joking.
That is going to be the end of Pop's turn. Taya's turn, no death save. Brings us to the Ranger's turn. Turns and is going to... Ooh, it's tricky. Hostages are now involved, and she's got some range. But she's going to go for an attack here.
Do it up.
And she only rolls a 15.
Will not hit. Sadly.
Her nerves are definitely getting the better of her, so she misses. But
Sure.
she does make a second attack and rolls a 26.
That may hit. I don't know. We'll consult the books.
Yeah, look at the books. That's going to sling 8 points of damage your way.
Oh, yeah. And you know I'm going to use my reaction to try to navigate that.
Do that. Yeah.
Love missile snaring. See, D10. Here we go. Not enough to cancel it out, but that does bring it to 1 damage. It feels good.
That does. And as she shoots that second arrow, she says, "Sick 'em." And the wolf comes barreling your way, but I don't know if it has enough movement.
Wolf, it's actually not your time. You would be fine if you didn't keep attacking me.
just flies.
Your time is getting oddly closer.
Flies through the air, trying to hit you, and does not with 13. So it literally jumps past you. It lands
I'm
behind
glad you used all your good rolls in like the first
I know.
round.
I was like cleaning up, and now I can't hit Jack.
My rolls are average at best though right now.
So the wolf is going to use the rest of its movement to do something. So he use 35.
It's within 5 feet of me now.
It is within 5 feet of you, but what it's going to do, since you simply have a sword to the throat,
Sure.
it's going to grab the young dragonborn boy by the nape of the neck and use the rest of his movement to try to get away from you, provoking an attack of opportunity should you choose to take it.
I used my reaction to try to grab the arrow, so
Ooh, okay, so
I no longer have that.
it gets away. The boy is now outside of your range, but there are the rest of the hostages which you brought in, which
So glad I put this story point into your story.
which I have clearly several notes prepared for here.
Yeah.
There is another small boy, bald head, and in monk's garments as well. And there is also
You made him look too much like Aang in my head now. I can't kill him.
oh, he looks so much like Aang. It's like
Oh,
scary.
no.
And then there is a little old lady as well, looking very brave and very stern. You can see the fear behind her eyes, not quite in them, because
Sure.
she's seen a few things in her day, but she's long past the ability to do anything about it. And then
Does she know a
finally,
few things because she's seen a few things?
exactly, there is
Is she a
another
farmer?
a young halfling as well, a boy who looks, or not a boy, but a man, looks to be middle age as far as halflings go. He's got a short beard, but it's not gray. He's looks tall for a halfling and handsome, but not quite ripped or jacked or buff at what you might expect out of like a warrior. More of like he's got a dad bod. Like you don't want to fight him in a bar fight, but you
Sure.
probably don't need or want to take him to war. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So those are the three characters that I have clearly had on hand this entire time, just waiting for your devious plot to unfold. And not,
You knew from the beginning.
I knew from the beginning you were going to do that. That brings us to the end of the dire wolf's turn, and brings us back to Perseus.
And no one is within 5 feet of me, correct? At the end of.
No,
Where does party go?
no one is within 5 feet of you except for the hostages.
It's not their time.
It's not their time. So Perseus is going to trust in his friends to take care of his
Sure.
son. And he's going
Sure.
to use his movement to get up close and personal with you in steps within 5 feet in melee range. He will take some battle axe attacks.
I'm sure he will.
Oh my gosh. Blind with rage. He swings with an 11 and misses. He does
Beautiful.
swing with an 18.
Okay, that will hit.
It's 11 points of damage.
Ooh. Solid hit.
How you looking?
You know, my max health is backwards, but I'm feeling good.
So he lands one hit. And he says to you, "You coward, get away from these hostage, and I will show you what the breath of fire looks like." Bonus action? Yeah, that's just the end of his turn. Oh, actually, yep, that's the end of his turn. Brings us to your turn.
Looking up at him. Well, I think I'll take your advice and move away from the hostages then. I will let him, if you would like to, have an attack of opportunity. And I will move directly to the cleric.
Okay, so he's going to take an attack of opportunity, and he's going to... That's a good roll. I gotta look at it. What is modifier?
That's okay. That's okay. If he hits, that's fine.
A 17 to
plan.
hit.
Yeah, it'll just barely hit.
Oh, and you
I
know
mean, even
what?
if it was a 16, Ty would go to roller.
So he hits you.
Yeah. Oh, does he have Sentinel?
No, but
Oh.
he hit you before, and I forgot to add his psychic damage.
And
And then on his attack
Is he
of
gonna die from
opportunity,
this?
he hits you again. And as he does, even in his blind rage, his head pierces with pain, and he
So
goes
you are
down.
actively killing yourself.
Yes,
Okay. All right. Well, you've made my plan extraordinarily easy then.
Don't they always?
So he's fallen to 0 hit points.
He is to 0 hit points, correct.
Adorable. What was that damage on the attack from the reaction?
11.
I didn't take it yet. Okay. Down to 7 hit points.
Let's go.
I will I think just take a battle axe to the back. Oh. Okay. I honestly didn't think you guys were going to be worth using these on. Obviously, you were more than the Riverman was saying. But it's quite about time you pay the toll. And as I say that, I will use 3 of my legendary actions. And as he falls down, I will. He ended his turn, correct?
Correct.
Okay. As he falls down, I will bend down and put. He's still conscious. I'm going to close his eyes and put 2 gold coins across his eyes, and I'm going to place my hand on his chest and just pull backwards. And I'm going to use pay the toll. And as I do, I will just rip a little bit of his soul out of him. It's one of my legendary actions. Pay the toll. It's 3. If a player is brought to 0 hit points, I'm gonna use my reaction to send them farther towards their end. Really glad I got to my turn. Technically, I don't know how that works, but they immediately fail their next death saving throw, and I will regain 12 hit points.
Nice.
Just heal for a little bit, just only for what he hit me for. We'll be like, okay.
Hey, hit points are hit
Right.
points, man. And then are you
This one
continuing
is-
on to
Yeah, that was just the end of his turn.
Correct.
I will go to my turn now.
yes.
And I will move over towards the cleric.
You gonna double tap, bro? So standing next to the cleric is the spellcaster.
The cleric is up with 1 hit point, so I am.
No, the cleric is down.
Oh, the cleric is down.
Yes, is stabilized at 0 hit points, so it just cleric no longer takes death saving throws.
Kind of jaunt on over. And I am going to just dig into the wizard here, or whatever the spellcaster is. I'm going to
Go
swing
for it.
both attacks at him.
Yeah.
Um,
Squishy. I'll just say that.
Squishy. All right. Attacks here are going to be 21 to hit,
That hits.
14 points of damage,
Yikes.
directly into his spleen. Ideally,
He
I'm just gonna
winces like an
come
old man
over.
who just got hit in the spleen.
As one does.
As one does.
You know, all those old men you see get hit in the spleen. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw my sword up and kind of kick it, and it just fly and smash into his chest.
Yep.
And I will make my second attack at him as well.
Oh boy. I think he's got one trick up his sleeve here. Otherwise, he's in trouble.
That's another 21 to hit. Roll
Even
14 on the die again.
for flavor, he's going to throw up his hands and a shield appears in front of him, but it's a little too late and a little too slow, and you still land your attack roll damage.
I'm imagining as he brings his hands up to cast the spell, I am just going to bring it down on his arm almost entirely because he's basically using his hands to block.
Yep.
Honestly, Theriseus didn't mean for it to get gruesome. I dropped my D6.
Go get it.
I need those. 17 in total.
Yep. Squishy boy goes down.
Beautiful.
So
That is
he
exactly what I want.
lying next to the cleric.
Sick. I'm going to just grab my blade, turn, and just look at the wolf. Almost not a recognition in Theriseus's eyes that the wolf doesn't understand what he's saying, maybe, and he just goes, "Sir, you are good to go. You will. Your time is not now. It is getting closer. Once again, Mr. Wolf." And I'll end my turn there.
The wolf looks at you like when you say a word that dogs don't kind of know, and they just go,
Yeah.
like when they
just a little head.
they
tilt,
know it's
little
not
joke.
walk and they know it's not ball, but they're like, "What is that? Are you saying that?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking to me? It's not treat either." And
Or kill.
that brings us to Reva, the halfling's turn, and she's going to use all of her movement to rush.
That is the end of my turn too, by the way.
That's
so,
the end of your turn.
The monk can now move.
Oh, yes. Yes. The monk is going to... Monk is quite speedy. The monk is going to hurry over, and he's going to use all of his movement as a dash. He's going to grab the little monk boy, pick him up, and with about the movement, he's going to get about as far as the wolf is with the dragonborn child.
Okay.
That's going to be all. He's going to use all his movement for that. That will bring to the end of his turn. Then moves us to Pops. Death save. Yikes.
Pops.
Fails. Taya doesn't make those anymore. That moves us to the halfling. She is also going to use her movement to sort of step in between the wolf and the monk and you, and just command the wolf, go! And the wolf is going to use all of its movement, which is quite a bit, to start booking it towards the cave exit.
Can I ask, are you using the Minecraft D&D wolf statistics or the normal wolf statistics? They are almost exactly the same.
If you notice, this wolf's actually quite beefy.
One
would even call it dire, you know.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
that brings us actually to the top of the round. Resetting your legendary actions. Perseus is going to roll death save number 2 because you've given him an auto fail on number 1,
I did.
and he failed. So he's got 2 death saves. That is the end of his turn.
Okay, I haven't attacked anyone else in here, I don't think. I am going to move towards, once again, the wolf's fine. I'm not worried about him. He started trying to make an exit for it. The monk, on the other hand, is the monk running away?
The monk is running towards the cave. The person who stands between you and the monk right now,
yeah,
the wolf is the small halfling with a bow.
The one that was actually shooting me, not the halfling that is
Correct.
a little bit chunky. Okay,
Correct.
cool. Yep, we'll go towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And I will move up into their face. Just go, are you ready?
She looks at you and just says, whatever the cost.
Bold. And I will take 2 attacks at her. 15.
That hits.
16.
9 plus 7 is 16. That hits.
I can't do math.
I got you.
That's a podcast show. I can't do math. All right. 14 points of damage.
Nice. It's the first time she's been hit.
It's radiant damage. And I have resistance to necrotic.
Let's
For
go.
funds. All right. I will also swing second attack at her. 11.
11 to hit.
12.
12 to hit.
13.
13.
Pick me. Yeah.
13 hits.
6 plus 7 is 13. It's rough out here. School's been a long time since then.
I hear you.
All right. So 15 points of damage in total.
Yikes. That's a lot of damage in one turn, you know. All right, she is looking worse for wears, but still alive.
Okay. Well, as I end my turn, as it is a turn that has ended, I will use my legendary reaction.
Let's go.
And make more attacks on him.
Go for it.
Perfect. Yep. So 1 charge for another attack. That is going to be 17 plus 7.
Definitely hits.
A 6 on the die. A 2 on the die. 15 more damage.
Yikes.
I am just
annihilating this halfling.
After I asked if she was ready.
Yep.
Say whatever the cost. I am bringing the sword up above my head and bringing it downwards, kind of in the fashion of Incredible or Invincible. Think, Mark, think, where he's just bashing his head in, but just with a sword over and over again. Not purposely trying to be gruesome. It's just an effective way of attacking. All right, how are they looking?
She's looking real hurt.
Cool. Use another legendary.
So that would use that, and honestly, it would be the next person in the order is the Kenku, who is going to simply use all of his movement to continue on towards the exit with its little monk boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep just bashing this thing's skull.
Yep, it's the end of Carthoon's turn.
Because I can use as many legendary actions at the end of the turn, or can I only use 1? What did we just discuss?
You can use up to 3. and then at the top of the round it resets. So if the legendary action costs 1, then you can use 1
do
and
it
then
3.
1 that costs 2 as well, because 1 and 2 equals 3. If the legendary
I
action costs
I don't
3,
have any that cost 2. Order.
well then,
You made these.
yeah, exactly. I'm just explaining it.
Oh yeah, to the audience.
Yeah,
I almost forgot we were recording this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just having a lot of fun.
good.
Just decimating this person's skull. That is going to be actually probably miss 3 plus 7, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That does miss. Pops makes another failure. I believe that's his second. Yep, that's his second. But
Oof.
you can tell the old wizard, and
Salute, pops.
you see out of the corner of his eye the old woman just kind of falls to her knees and shuts her eyes and just starts nodding. You're not quite sure at what, you're not quite sure why, but that's what she does.
Okay.
No death saves there. That brings us to the halfling's turn, and she's going to try to point blank you in the head with her bow.
Okay. Bold. I'm loving this.
So she will roll with disadvantage.
It is so entertaining to see you living creatures fighting for something that is just the natural order of the universe.
If by natural order you mean the natural need to protect the ones we love, then yes, we will fight for that. And she's going to, with a disadvantage,
Good for you.
swing out a 16.
Wow. Yeah. That hits AC, so that works.
Ooh, and she will take her 12, that 12 points back. She'll hit you for 12
Nice.
damage.
Good on you. As my reaction, though, I am going to try to reduce that damage from point blank range.
Yeah, I mean, still range, so definitely go
Yeah.
for it.
That is only a 4. Oh, plus my dex. 4, 5, 6. 6. So I only take 6 damage.
Let's go.
Woo. They just as they hit me, I'm just like barely catching them as they like pierce arteries and things. I'm like, can you stop it? It tickles a little bit, and I just need you
There's
to die.
enough tickles.
There's a lot of tickles.
And then she's like, well, whatever the cost. And that's her first attack. She'll still make her second attack with disadvantage. Oh, man. Disadvantage screwed her. 10 does not hit. 17 would
No, it does
have.
not.
But
Lovely.
on her turn, the wolf will re-enter the cave.
Oh, the
And-
wolf got all the way out.
Oh, yeah. And then with a little bit, like barely any movement left, he's going to try to, the male halfling is going to sling up around his back and start to head for the exit, but that's all the farther they're going to get. That's the
Okay.
end of
Order. The
their
fans
turn.
want to know, what's the wolf's name?
The wolf's name, Reba
Reba.
McIntyre.
Porter, remember, I'm not going to kill this wolf, so this will be a character if it comes back.
Agreed.
Okay. I love it.
So that is the end of the wolf's turn. We've reset the top of the initiative order. You have
Oh.
all your legendary actions, and there's no one but you in the initiative order, really, so it's your turn. At this point, you've
Cool.
pretty much knocked everyone else down.
I will move up to the halfling. Where is the monk at, by the way?
The monk is just like barely at the mouth of the cave, a little slower than the wolf, but
Okay. Yeah, the monks can move, though.
hustle. Yep.
We might need a repeat on this monk fight. Find him later. I will move up to the halfling. Oh no, I have a plan. I'll move up to the halfling on the wolf's back once again, not hitting the wolves. I would never hurt something whose time it's not for death.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just move up behind it.
Yep.
And
I will
just
say that there's just enough room in between them that you do not provoke an attack of opportunity, because it's kind of like that section of the cave is like, it's not like super wide. So like you can kind of just like swoosh around or probably step over the halfling and get within melee range of the wolf and the innocent
halfling.
bystander.
Yeah. So the ranger, whoever the bow guy is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving up onto him,
Okay.
and I'll just say, What happened? Whatever the cost. And I will slash at him again.
Yeah, go for it.
13 to hit.
That hits.
That hits?
That's a tie goes to the runner. That hits.
Let's go. 15 points of damage. I have done 15 points of damage in randomly different orders so many times
It's
tonight.
true.
That's wild.
And as you deliver that blow, the ranger halfling goes down.
I will simply swing my sword kind of above my head, almost helicopter style, and just slice through its abdomen. I'll kind of just clean cut through since it's higher up on the wolf right now. I'll just
So let
one
me
clean cut through.
say, the halfling shooting arrows at you is not on the wolf. The innocent
Oh, okay.
bystander climbed on the wolf to try to escape.
Okay, I see. Innocent bystander and wolf, they can
Because
be out of
this
here.
person is not a hero, I would say you would do fatal damage to whichever target you were intending to, but I'll let you decide who you were trying to hit.
My goal was the bow guy.
Okay, so the bow guy.
I was at a
Yep.
misunderstanding.
You-
Would a 13 or a
Yep.
13 still
Yep,
hit the bow
yep,
guy?
mhm.
Okay, cool. And does that kill him?
Kills her, yes.
Oh, sorry. Wow, I didn't even know.
It's probably my
was it
fault.
me
I'm
not
a
paying
bad
attention?
DM. I should quit now. and
Well,
never do
no.
it again.
Listen, Theriseus doesn't care who the person is.
That's true. It's just out for that blood.
Yeah, just really wanting their souls more than anything. So he doesn't really care. He will immediately use 3 charges of his legendary action, as the upper half of the body falls to the ground. Put 2 gold on their eyes and pull a part of their soul out and put it to his chest.
Yep.
Get another 12 hit points.
Let's go.
Up to 25 health. We're
Let's
looking
go.
good.
Let's go.
And make them fail one of the death saves.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's
In
your
terms
turn.
of, I'll look at my imaginary checklist and be like, Bird, I'm coming for you. Just know your time is coming, and I'll try to, if I have any movement left, try to move as close as I can to him. He's
Yep.
the last one, right?
Yeah, you head towards the mouth of the cave, and as you do, he steps back in and just kind of squawks his a phrase he's heard before, and so he can repeat it. I'm right here. Whatever the cost, come and find me. Whatever the cost. And he charges head on at you. This all happens, we'll say, as the wolf exits with the male halfling on his back.
Perfect.
It's the only 3 living members are in the cave currently. You, the monk, and the little old lady. And it
Okay.
is it's his turn, so he's gonna get to you as close as he can, but he isn't gonna use his entire movement to get close to you because he wants to be able to prepare himself. So he's going to get close and within you, and he's going to point his long, feather-like fingers at you and just point at you and kind of inhale deeply. And then his eyes lock onto yours, and it's almost like he can see into your soul. And the horrors he finds there do feel like they inform him a little bit more about your advances and techniques, and he begins to take his stance as he prepares, as he the last member of his party, the last piece of hope, of justice for those who have fallen. And it is the end of his turn.
Does that take us back to the top of initiative order?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Pops has a death save.
Oh, death saves.
And he actually passes, so good for him.
Hey, good on you, Pops.
And then nat 20.
Nat
The
20?
Nat 20 on a death save for this little halfling behind you with a bow. So she
His body is cut in half.
stands
Not actually
up
cut in half. It technically wouldn't have died. Yeah.
and just kind of is leaning on her bow, and she says, "You don't have to fight alone, whatever the cost."
Wow,
that
you really meant it.
brings us to the end of her turn, and the top of the round. Your legendary actions have reset. A death save for my boy. And he passes, so he's got 2 failures and a pass on the Dragonborn male. Now it brings us to the end of his turn, and your turn. You have you have everything. So
Is the halfling? I moved towards the monk. Neither
Yep.
of them are within my melee range right now, right?
correct.
I This feels almost overkill. But Theriseus needs these people to die. This
Yeah.
is what he's called to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's gonna roll his eyes and just be like, why do the adventure types never make it easy? I'll turn back towards the halfling,
Yep.
walk up, and be like, we just agreed that you were ready. And now you don't seem ready. I'm going to kill you now. And I will swing once at her.
Mm-hmm. Do it. Do it with advantage, because I feel like this may be like I'll get some hate for this, but the woman just died and then just miraculously came back to
Sure.
life. So
Sure. So the funny thing about the advantage was I had a 13 before, and then you said advantage, and I rolled a nat 1. So advantage gave me less of a chance that time.
well, you still hit.
Does
So
13 hit?
Yep, 13 is the AC on this one.
Oh my gosh.
So she will just you don't need to roll damage. We'll just
Bad.
say it falls back down.
Yeah, I'm gonna heal from that too. I'm gonna pick up the coins next to her as she falls down and be like, just keep these this time. Heal up another 12 points. I will go up to the monk now.
Yep, close that gap. You definitely have enough
Close that
movement to
gap.
get there, and he's ready for you.
And attacks haven't been great, so I don't know if he'll be able to let any of this through. I will just simply swing at him.
Go for it.
Still learning this here character. Ooh, 14 on the die plus 7.
That'll hit.
Ooh, 15 again. What is happening? That's first attack, 15 damage.
All right. Jeez.
19 to hit.
That'll hit.
13 points of damage. Second attack.
Yikes. He's looking real rough, but just barely alive.
I will say, Bird, what is your name?
Carthoon.
Carthoon? Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Just know you are dying with honor.
Carthoon looks at you and then kind of looks above you. And then kind of looks past you at the old lady behind you.
Carthoon, you here with me, bud?
And he just kind of nods at her.
You did this nod before, and then there was a bright white light, and then everyone got revivified. If we could not do that again, that would be great, Carthoon.
No. The end.
I should have taken her out.
The little old lady goes over to the old wizard and just kneels behind him. Looks back at the bird. Make a perception check for me.
All right. That's going to be... Oh, thank goodness. Perception is +4, so that's going to be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It's going to be a lot of me counting on this podcast.
There, you look up and you can almost hear the rocks above you in the cave feel like someone somewhere is tearing them apart, splitting them up, pulling them together like the pieces of an orange. They're pulled back to reveal an open sky filled with the same clouds and the same light rain as the day began with. The little old lady turns to you. Well, you got 'em. They walked right into your trap, didn't they?
Yes.
You must be so proud of yourself leading them here, but here's the thing. It wasn't really that sneaky. Come on, I mean, it's not like you were subtle. They knew what they were getting into. My sweet, sweet Harold knew what he was getting himself into. They all knew this would be the end, but that's okay. They were hoping to get lucky, weren't you, Carthoon? Maybe they would be lucky enough to beat you. But it looks like their luck's just about run out.
Does seem that way.
So, but that's okay. It seems like all they needed to do was buy some time. With your 22 perception check, the sky above, there are figures in it. 4 figures. They're actually alumni for the Wizarding School of Rootmore, known well in these lands. The wizard Bart, the wizard Calum, the wizard Bladesinger, and the wizard Orion. Their hands begin to glow and ignite into a ball of fire. They move and fly closer to the air closer together as they flutter in the air, moving not quickly, but begin to push their sources of heat and light together as that source grows. A fireball, the size that you've never seen, begins to fill the sky, and they push it down in your direction. The little old lady, with her final breath, says, "Whatever the cost." The Birdman, Carthoon, the flyer, repeated from a phrase he's heard many times. "Whatever the cost." Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Okay. Ooh, unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
15 on the die, plus 5 dex save.
All right, unnatural 20. So we will do half damage as you pass. Well done. Divided by 2, you take 74 points of fire damage.
If only I was max health.
These mages were brought to you by people who submitted their mages and their fireball rolls to me, the DM. This is just some of the Easter eggs we will be including in this campaign as our friends, new and old, participate in various ways. Bart, Calum, Bladesinger, and Orion are all real characters that I've got to sit with and play at tables with my friends, and those are real fireball rolls.
Oh, I wrote down their name.
Yep, they are all alumni in our world of the Wizarding School of Rootmore. But
Rootmore?
Rootmore.
Rootmore. Hey, and now those people have their names permanently in my notes.
Hey, and forever in our hearts.
And forever in my heart.
But you cannot escape the searing pain of this heat. The flesh on your bones, if that's what you even call it, is excruciatingly painful, immediately passing out from the pain. The next few days are, in fact, in and out of consciousness. Is it hours? Is it weeks? Is it months? Is it minutes? Is it seconds? You hear the sound of a carriage. You feel the rolling bump and moving back and forth. You understand the limitations of restraint as you can't move, you can't speak, and back into unconsciousness. Awoken abruptly by searing hot pain into your forearm as you come to but for a moment to see a room of heavily armored guards and maybe more a taller figure in the back, but the pain is too much, and you pass out yet again. Finally, a sound awakens you once more the sound of iron bars hitting the end of a track, a sound of an iron door sliding open as you are thrown in to a cell. You open your eyes to see a large, gruff Leonin looking back at you. Wherever you are, it's some sort of prison, and this seems to be your new cellmate. And this is also where we are ending our prologue session.
Ah, so good. Woo, boy. That was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
Been a long time since I played a character, bud.
The no moments lost. You did a lot of damage. You moved very tactically. Well done. That's the end of this episode, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up and continue to be on the lookout for more ways you can participate and be involved. Sign up for the Patreon. You can hop in as low as $1 a month. And that's just some of the fun things that we still have in store. We still have a lot of stuff that we're actually sitting on that we haven't told you or really gone in depth about yet. So sign up for Patreon or don't, and just follow along later than everyone, like Square on like YouTube and stuff. Just kidding. Any support you give us, I will appreciate.
We love you.
We do. We love you. So appreciate you, and see you guys next time at the table.